Welcome to the True Detectives podcast. Are you ready for another crazy investigation this week?
Always ready for a good mystery.
Well, you folks definitely delivered this time. We're diving into a case you shared with us, and it's got a twist I didn't see coming. A Detective Academy final exam gone seriously wrong. It's all about uncovering the truth, right? So let's see what we can figure out together.
Sounds intriguing already.
It is. This investigation centers on a live case simulation. At least that's what it was supposed to be. But then a student named Nicole Ramirez disappears, vanishes right out of the academy's residential wing. And it looks like a kidnapping, which is scary enough on its own.
Right. I mean, you'd think a detective academy would be the safest place to be.
You'd think so. But what really grabbed my attention, and this is where things get kind of shady, multiple security cameras are offline. It's like someone deliberately sabotaged the system from within the academy. That's not a simple oversight. It suggests something much bigger is going on, something really rotten at the core of this institution.
Yeah, that's a huge red flag, isn't it? I mean, if they can't even keep their own students safe, what does that say about the training they're providing?
Exactly. And that's what makes this case so fascinating. So we're going to follow Nicole's classmates, Sarah, Kai, and Ben, as they try to navigate this nightmare. Their final exam becomes a frantic rescue mission. And to add to the pressure, the initial announcement straight up says standard search protocols are compromised. That tells us right away that this isn't just some routine drill. They're dealing with a very real, very dangerous situation. What are your thoughts on that?
It tells me that whoever took Nicole knew exactly what they were doing. They planned for every contingency, even anticipating the academy's standard procedures.
Right.
And disabling those protocols, that takes some serious inside knowledge.
Right. Like, who has that level of access and expertise? We're talking about a sophisticated operation here, maybe even an inside job. That's a chilling thought.
Definitely. It really sets a tense tone right from the start.
And then we get a glimpse of Nicole herself. She's described as having an infectious laugh, brilliant hacking skills, just someone you'd want to root for. So when that announcement blares missing person, possible kidnapping, it's like a punch to the gut. You instantly feel the urgency. What do you think? Could Nicole's hacking skills be a factor in her disappearance?
Oh, absolutely. In a technologically advanced setting like that, someone with her skills would be a prime target. Maybe she stumbled across some sensitive information, or her abilities posed a threat to someone within the academy. It adds another layer to the mystery.
Then comes the announcement that sends chills down your spine. It's like something out of a thriller movie. Standard search protocol is compromised, multiple security cameras disabled, suspect is likely operating within the academy. That last line, someone on the inside, that's just terrifying. It means Sarah, Kai, and Ben can't trust anyone, not even their instructors. It turns their world upside down.
Absolutely. They're suddenly in a situation where they have to question everything and everyone. It really amps up the tension and suspense.
And Sarah's reaction, I love this, she's all business. Nicole wouldn't go down without a fight, she says. There has to be a trail. It shows her detective instincts kicking in, right? Even in the middle of this chaos, she's looking for clues, not giving in to panic. What do you make of her reaction?
I think it speaks to her training, her character. She's not just reacting emotionally. She's approaching the situation with a detective's mindset, trying to be rational, looking for evidence.
Totally. And then things escalate again. A comms message. Intruder in the library. Shots fired. Sarah, Kai, and Ben race towards the library, thinking they're heading into the heart of the action. What do you think about that?
It definitely raises the stakes. The introduction of potential violence, it creates a sense of immediate danger, but it also serves as misdirection, which we find out later.
Oh, for sure, because they get to the library, and it's a scene straight out of a disaster movie. Big shelves overturned, data pads smashed, blood on the floor, the whole 9 yards. But there's no Nicole and no intruder. It's a setup, a classic red herring. What does that tell us?
Well, it tells me that whoever is behind this is smart, very deliberate. They wanted to mislead the students, to buy time, to keep them off balance. It's a sign of a strategic mind, someone who thinks several steps ahead.
Ben figures it out pretty quickly. They're leading us away, he says. They're starting to see through the deception. Even under pressure, their training is showing through.
I agree. It shows they're learning to think critically, to analyze the situation, not just react to what they see. That's a crucial skill for any detective.
Absolutely. And then Kai makes the call to split up. I'll cover Sector C. You two take the dorms. It's risky, but time is running out. What are your thoughts on this move?
Splitting up in a situation like this is always a gamble. It allows them to cover more ground, but it also makes them more vulnerable. It's a tough call, And it has consequences, as we see later.
Then Kai has this chilling realization. It wasn't just Nicole who could hack the system. Their exam could be a deadly trap, and they were its targets. That changes everything. It's no longer just about finding Nicole, it's about survival. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a huge shift in perspective. It makes the situation even more dangerous because now they have to worry about being hunted themselves.
And sure enough, just as Kai is having this thought, he's attacked. He runs into a hooded figure in Sector C and gets hit with a tranquilizer gun. Not a lethal weapon, which is interesting. It suggests they want him alive, at least for now. Why do you think they used a tranquilizer?
Well, a tranquilizer incapacitates without killing. It could be they need Kai for something, maybe information or leverage, or maybe they have a more elaborate plan that doesn't involve immediate death. It's hard to say for sure.
And as Kai is trying to process what just happened, his comms crackle with Sarah's voice. Library was a decoy. They doubled back, hit the dorms, Ben's down, and then silence. That abrupt cutoff, that's just heart-stopping. You don't know what's happened to her, but it's clear that Ben's also been taken out. What does this tell you?
It points to a coordinated attack, possibly multiple attackers working together. They planned this, they knew where the students would be, and they neutralized them swiftly.
It's a well-executed trap, no doubt about it. They're alone, hunted, and the odds are stacked against them. But even though Kai is injured and drugged, he's still thinking like a detective. He says underestimating a detective was a fatal mistake. That internal resilience, it's impressive. What do you make of it?
It shows the effectiveness of their training, even in a crisis. They've been taught not just skills, but also mental toughness, the ability to think clearly under pressure.
Absolutely. He's determined to find a clue, a message from Nicole. He's thinking about his friends, their smiles, their jokes, their shared experiences. That bond is what keeps him going, keeps him fighting the effects of the tranquilizer. And that thought, they wouldn't become another Academy statistic. It shows the depth of his commitment to saving his friends.
It adds a human element to the story, right? These aren't just characters. They're people with connections, with feelings,
Yeah.
and that makes their struggle even more compelling.
Absolutely. And the final lines are so powerful. This had been their classroom. Now it was their battlefield. It sums up the whole situation perfectly. What was supposed to be a controlled exercise has become a desperate fight for survival.
It's a stark reminder that even in a futuristic setting, even in a seemingly safe environment like a school, danger can lurk around every corner. And sometimes, the skills you learn in the classroom can have life or death consequences.
So let's recap, shall we? We started with a seemingly straightforward final exam, but it quickly spiraled into a high-stakes rescue mission. Compromised security, a staged crime scene, and coordinated attacks all point to a clever and manipulative adversary, someone who knows the Academy inside and out. They've taken out Ben, and Sarah's fate is uncertain. Kai is injured and alone, but determined to rescue his friends.
We've got a classic detective setup here, a missing person, a race against time, and clues scattered throughout a high-tech environment. But what sets the story apart is the personal stakes for these aspiring detectives. Their training is being put to the ultimate test, and the consequences are very real.
So many questions remain unanswered. What's the motive behind all of this? What kind of sinister conspiracy is at play? And will Kai be able to save his friends? This case leaves us on a real cliffhanger. It makes you wonder about the true nature of their training and the hidden dangers within the Academy walls. We encourage you all to think about the implications of turning a learning environment into a battleground. It's a chilling thought, but it's a reality for Sarah, Kai, and Ben. And we're left to wonder, will they make it out alive?
Tune in next time, folks, and we'll see if we can untangle this web of intrigue together.
That's it for this week's investigation on the True Detectives podcast. Be sure to rate and follow the show so you don't miss the next chapter of this gripping case. Thanks for listening, detectives. Until next time.
Stay safe out there.